Hello and welcome to Dr. St. Peter's SPSS tutorials. Today I'm going to just introduce you to SPSS, a software commonly used in the social sciences. So I'm going to begin by just going ahead and opening it. So you already have to have SPSS installed. Now that can kind of vary depending on what program and what type you have and how you access it. So that's why I'm just starting with you must have SPSS installed, and then I just search for it and now I can pull it up. All right, so SPSS takes a little bit of time to load, but we'll just watch it spin for a second. And I would recommend that maybe you watch this video and then you work along with it next time and actually pull up SPSS to follow along. All right, so this is the summer of 2026. I'm using IBM SPSS Statistics version 30.0. Previous versions and future versions should look somewhat similar to this. I do have a PC, so if you have a Mac, it might look slightly different as well. So when I open up SPSS, this is what will happen. I'm going to click a new data set. This would allow me to enter my own data. There are sample files if you ever want to play around with anything, but again, I'm clicking up at the very top where it says new data set, and then I'm going to click open. Okay, so this is what will open with SPSS. Now, this is the data editor. So this is where we would enter data. The data editor kind of looks like Excel or Google Forms or Google Sheets, but it is different. So when we're in data view, this is where you would enter any numbers. So SPSS only analyzes data entered as numbers. It will completely allow you to analyze differences between like males and females or pet owners and non-pet owners, but we will have to enter those as numbers. So everything must be a number that you enter into here. So you would either copy and paste your data from a table, or you could just manually enter it using a keyboard. So for instance, if I wanted to do pet owners and not pet owners, I could just enter zeros and ones or ones and twos. So maybe I want ones to be pet owners. Let's say I have 5 pet owners, and then I'll have 2, or I'll have 5 non-pet owners. You would just enter that. So each column is a variable that you are entering. So for instance, this would be my pet owners, and I have to enter numbers, even though they really don't mean ones and twos. It just means ones will represent pet owners and twos will represent non-pet owners. Okay, so this is my variable view. Again, it's where you enter your numbers. And so often we have more than one variable, so we might also have people's ages. So I'm just going to enter some range of ages. I'm just making these up to show you. So, you know, we have pet owners and non-pet owners, and we have ages. Okay, so as you can see, you could have a lot. It will continue giving you more columns as needed, so you can enter a lot of data. So each column in the data view is one of your variables. So I have 2 variables shown here. Each row is going to be a participant. Okay, so this row 1 is meaning I have a pet owner who's 18 years old. Row 2 is I have a pet owner who's 19 years old. So it's really important that you always make sure your data stay aligned like that. Okay, but you don't want to remember what variable 1 and variable 2 are, so we can actually name them. So again, I was in data view where I entered the numbers. Now I'm going to go down to the bottom and see the tab that says data view and variable view. I'm going to click on variable view. This is the same file, but now I can name those variables. So where it says name, I'm going to do owner, pet owner, and then for the second variable, I'll name it age. So for pet, make sure they're always numeric. Sometimes when you copy and paste data, if it enters string, it's not going to allow you to perform statistical functions. So you would just click on that little button and you could change it from string to numeric and have to make sure that it's in numbers. So you need the type to say numeric. I leave the width in decimals, always at 2 decimals. Labels, if you have a large data set, you can enter more information here. I'm going to leave it blank. For values, You don't need to enter anything for like age or any scale variable, but for nominal variables, you do need to enter values. So this is where you're telling it what those numbers actually mean. So I have 1s and 2s, so I'm going to click this little plus button twice, and then I have to enter what numbers I entered. So if you did 0s and 1s or 5s and 7s, you just enter your values here and then say what they are. So these are pet owners, and 2s are non-pet owners. I'm going ahead and writing them in title case because that's how your graphs would be to be in APA format, and that's just going to save me a little time. Once you get all those done, and if you want to get rid of one, you would just click the X button and add another if you need it, and so on and so forth. Once those look good, click OK. All right, and then also with pets. So we have pets, we have pet owners, non-pet owners, and then I want to change my measure to nominal. So your options are nominal, ordinal, or scale. So age is scale, so I'll change that one. It is pretty important to have your scale of measurement correctly set. And now that those are saved, you could save your file and you'd be ready to analyze it. You would just click on that save button, do example data, and then I just click save. Sometimes people have a thing where it's like save to repository, and it sounds counterintuitive, but just go ahead and hit enter and it will save your data. So don't get too worried if for some reason it says save to repository. Just hit enter and then search for your data file. Just make sure you name it something you know how to search for. Okay, a few other things to having your data. So we have our variable view, which is where you enter your names of your variables. And again, maybe pet wasn't the best, like maybe I should name it ownership. So I can go back through and change it anytime, then just resave it. And so this would be your data file. And again, when you save it, let me change it. I want it to give me the option to save again. So when you do save it, I want you to look at the extension. It's a .sav. And .savs, that's your data files. And so if anybody ever sends you, whoops, I don't know what I did. So I'm just going to delete those. And save it. But that way, if anybody ever sends you like a .sav file, you'll know you can't open it unless you have your SPSS going on that particular computer. Also, you know, it is a software, so whatever computer you install it on, that's a computer you need to use to work with SPSS. Okay, so I just wanted to show you one other thing with SPSS. This is your data file. This is what should not change once you've collected data, right? It has all of your data in it, but you also are going to be running analyses. So I'm just going to run one real quick just to show you how to do something, because for age, I might want the mean, standard deviation, range. It doesn't matter. I just want to show you what happens. When you run an analysis, it's actually going to open up a second window. So we see data editor over here and the viewer over here. So the viewer is a separate file. So when you save this, the extension is going to be .spv. And so you have two different files once you start analyzing your data. You'll have your data file and your output file. And so if someone sends you an SPV file, you won't be able to see their data. You'll just be able to see whatever analysis they ran. Now with the output like this, you can easily copy and paste it into Word or to Google Docs. You can just use the shortcuts like you use in Word, like Control-C to copy and Control-V to paste, or you can even right-click and copy it as an image or whatever you want to, and then paste it right into a Word document, PowerPoint, whatever you need to. So going from output to a different form is super easy. For your data file, you really can't share that unless you save it and send someone your SPSS file. You can do a screenshot if you need to. Okay, so that's an introduction to SPSS. I guess the last thing I want to show you here is if you need to do it in APA format, go ahead and go to Edit, Options, and you only have to do this one time, the first time you install it. And you want to go to Output, you want to go to Charts, and you want to make sure it says APA, and then you'll click Apply, and then go to Pivot Tables, click one of the two APAs, click Apply, and then click OK. That's going to make it go a lot easier for you when you're looking at output. So all the rest of my presentations will be with it already set, with your edit to options, with the charts and pivot tables set to APA. You click Apply, OK. It won't go backwards and do anything, but everything from that point forward. But you only have to do it one time. All right, so thanks for joining.